Black Panther is the 18th entry in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and was directed by Ryan Coogler and stars Chadwick Boseman and Michael B. Jordan, with a talented ensemble cast. Black Panther takes place only a few weeks after the events of Captain America: Civil War and follows T'Challa, played by Chadwick Boseman, who is now King of Wakanda, a high-tech society hidden from the rest of the world, and he must face off against Killmonger, Michael B. Jordan's character, as they face off in a power struggle for the throne. This film was directed by Ryan Coogler, who is a filmmaker I really admire. He directed Fruitvale Station and Creed, and those films are superb. You should really check them out if you can. And honestly, I can say without a doubt, he is 3 for 3 with this one. And this one has showed me that I think Ryan Coogler was meant to direct epics. From the very beginning, this film's just a feast for the eyes. It's beautiful, it's visually stunning, it's got great set pieces, great music, and above all, the acting is very superb. But where I think the film excels the most in is the drama of the characters and the story. Black Panther, in my opinion, is not a superhero film. It's a drama first, a superhero movie second, and an MCU movie third. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean that the drama propels the story of the film, whereas the superhero is not the main focus. The superhero is part of the story and part of the drama. It is not the most important part. The drama is T'Challa's story of learning to become a king and what that means and the sacrifices he may or may not have to make. The superhero part is, him punching things, I guess, and being, dressing up as what we think a superhero should be. And then, lastly, the MCU part. Now, in previous MCU movies, they like to kind of connect them together by spreading little crumbs around, being like, oh, this connects to this and this. But they don't really do that in this movie. I think this movie can stand on its own compared to, say, Ant-Man, where you have in that movie, Edgar Wright actually left the film because he didn't want to connect it. It feels like it can stand on its own as a self-contained story that doesn't need the overarching MCU to put it into context. Let's talk about the performances. Chadwick Boseman returns as Black Panther from Captain America: Civil War, and he gives a lot of humanity to the character, much like he did in that first introduction in Civil War. But here it's, on a grander scale. However, I will say that his character is kind of hard to read sometimes. It's just, he's not as interesting as I would have liked him to be, and there are other characters in the film that are way more interesting than him. Such as the villains, like Andy Serkis, who plays this crazy arms dealer who first appeared in Avengers: Age of Ultron. He's absolutely fantastic. He's so over the top, and you can tell Andy Serkis is just enjoying doing what he's doing. He's a lot of fun to watch, and honestly, really creepy. It's just kind of nice to see Andy Serkis, not in mocap and everything. It's good to see the actual person because he can be kind of intimidating, but also be really, really funny at the same time. Now, on the other side of that, the other villain, the one who really steals the show, is Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger, who I think, without a doubt, is the best villain the MCU has ever had. Yes, I think he's even better than Loki. Loki just isn't as interesting to me. What makes him interesting is Tom Hiddleston's performance. It's really fun, and he's having really fun doing this, being just evil and conniving and being a trickster. Whereas the thing with Michael B. Jordan's character, Killmonger, he is written well. The villain is written so well. He's very sympathetic, and you can understand where he's coming from, but he's also just evil. But here's the thing. He has real motivations that make him feel like a real character. That's something that Ryan Coogler is really good at. Ryan Coogler is great at making people seem human, and he does the same here with Michael B. Jordan. As for the action, there's some really great scenes in here. There's a great chase scene in the early part of the film that's really enthralling and fun to watch and very action-packed. But my favorite scene in particular, and favorite action scene, has to be this scene in which T'Challa has to fight this tribesman, and it's done in this sword and shield combat, and it's just really fun, and it kind of reminded me of, old epics, and I just really liked it, and it was really fun, and just the action overall is really great in this film, and it's nothing you haven't seen before, but it's still done fresh enough to where it's still good to watch. I love this film. I love everything about it. I love the acting, I love the characters, I love the story, I love the music, I love the action. I just love the drama of it all. I love Ryan Coogler's direction, and I love that he was able to direct on such a scale as this. It really makes me interested to see what other big movies like this he could make. That said, I do have some gripes with the film. They're very small, but they do leave a little bit of an impact. First of all, the first act is it's hard to get into. It feels like it goes on a little too long, and we don't really get anywhere fast. And also, there's this part in the beginning of the film that it's this really serious moment, but it just comes off as goofy, and it's not in tone with the rest of the film. The rest of the film is kind of dramatic and stuff with some comedic elements, but there's nothing truly, goofy. But it is really goofy right here. With all that said, I give Black Panther a 9 out of 10. Guys, if you haven't seen Black Panther yet, do yourself a favor and go out and see it as soon as you can. You won't regret it. It's a very enjoyable, fun, emotionally driven movie, and I think it's really something special. Anyway, guys, if you like this video, comment and like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next review.